I'm here with Brightview Exteriors conducting an attempt to repair pliability test here on Miss Patty Tarino's roof. Here we have marked a hail damaged shingle. This shingle was marked by the adjuster, not by me. The chalk is still here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I am going to loosen this shingle and we're gonna see where it starts and ends. Unfortunately, I was not able to find this color, so we will just be replacing it temporarily with a gray shingle. So first things first, I'm gonna see where the shingle starts and ends. There is a little bit here. Unfortunately, this roof kind of has a steep pitch, so I can't get the best angle. I'm currently on a box vent, but I'm gonna see where the shingle starts and ends. I can already see that it starts here. So I'm gonna slowly start going up underneath of it with my flat bar. I'm actually gonna start from this this corner. Let me see if I'm not wrong. Yep, you can see that it starts here. This shingle to the left is a little loose. I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking the seal on it. Being very careful not to rip or tear the shingle. There is some caulking here, unfortunately, due to there being a dryer vent. Here, I'll move the camera. Right here, there is some caulking up underneath of it because of the area. Actually, let me see. It might be ice and water shield here. I'm gonna continue prying at it very gently. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna loosen up this next row. Whoosh. I'm gonna move the camera down a little bit. Like I said, the angles on this roof are not the best, just because it is a little bit steeper than I would like for a repair attempt. So here, I loosen the next row above. So here we have our hail damaged shingle is now loose. I'm just gonna pry on it just a little bit to help loosening it up. Now I'm gonna go to the next row above. I have loosened this one to the right. I'm gonna work on this one to the left. I am seeing mat transferring on these shingles. Now I'm gonna go to the next row above. This one is loose. I'm gonna go to this one over here. I'm not gonna loosen it all the way. Actually, we're just gonna go all the way. Okay. Now all of the shingles have been loosened. I'm just gonna mark it just so we can be very clear. I'm gonna mark my area of repair. Usually on the 3 tabs, I like to do it before, but in this case, we're doing it now. So this is my damaged shingle. I'm gonna mark the exterior extremities of it. So in other words, where it starts, where it ends. Now I'm gonna go with my white chalk. I'm gonna mark my outer area of repair. see. So I'm gonna take it right here. So this is my area of repair, has been marked. Let me just make sure it's still within frame. It's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin removing the nails. So I'm going to grab my flat bar and very carefully I will begin removing the nails. Nail number 1. Nail number 2. Nail number 3. So this 4th nail right here, this has popped through the shingle on the bottom side. And my final nail. My final nail has been removed. Now I'm going to go to the next row above and remove those nails. So I'm going to start right here. Being very careful not to manipulate the shingle too much, as it does feel a little bit fragile. It is a newer shingle, but it's still a little bit hard. So it's going to rip and tear very easily. Here we go. Now I'm gonna go over here. I'm not lifting the shingle any higher than what I would to nail it. Okay. So now all my nails have been removed. I'm going to begin removing the shingle. Make sure it's still good within frame. So now it is a little bit stuck over here on this side. It appears that there's ice and water shield on it. Okay. So my shingle is now removed, and I just want to go ahead and show you guys the mat transferring on the bottom of this shingle. So here, this is the one that I just removed. You can see that there's mat transfer here. There's a chunk taken out here. There's more mat transferring here. And on this bottom section, you can see there's mat transferring right here and here. Unfortunately, when these shingles do mat transfer, what ends up happening is the shingle will not be able to re-adhere properly to the roof. So here you can see that little bit of ice and water shield that was here. This is here because there is a box vent, one here, one there. I'm only doing the repair on this section because this was the section that has hail damage. Now we're gonna go and inspect this next row. If we look at this section here, there is mat transferring. This glue strip is completely compromised. This will not properly re-adhere to the roof at all whatsoever. There is no stick left on the glue strip, and if you look very carefully, there is barely any glue. It's a little bit in the middle and a little bit on the ends, but the rest does not have any glue. And if we go to this next row above, we go to the one to the right, here you can see the same thing. This shingle here in the center doesn't have any glue. It just has remnants from the top section. So here you can see there is mat transferring on this shingle. We'll get a better look in a second. But here on this one, as you can see, like I'm lifting up on this, and the shingle is very stiff right now. I can only realistically fit like 2 fingers up underneath of it without forcing it to lift up. So if we look at this one, we can see mat transferring in the center, mat transferring all throughout, and this glue strip is completely dried out. So now that I've broken the seal, this shingle will not re-adhere back to the roof. If you look on that underside, same thing, there's mat transferring going all throughout. There is a small amount of glue strip left on the area where the glue strip belongs. So here on these architectural shingles, unfortunately, like I said, I could not find this shingle, this shingle color, so I had to settle for this gray one. But here, as you can see, this is the glue strip, and if I touch it right now, it is sticky. It even leaves my fingerprints and the oils from my finger on the strip. Whenever we go to these older shingles, and if I go to the glue strip, there is no tack left on it. Not only just that, but there's chunks of it missing. So now that this shingle has its material on the glue strip in sections like this, a little bit here, and here on the end, now this new shingle is gonna re-adhere, but on the next row above, it will not. Since this one has no glue strip on the bottom section of it left over, there's slight bits, but for the most part, it has matting on the bottom of it. This shingle will not re-adhere to this new one because it does not have a glue strip here in the center. So now I'm gonna go ahead and begin installing the shingle. And make sure the angle is okay. It appears to be. So now I'm gonna grab my new shingle. And in this case, I am going to have to cut it. Let me just double check. This shingle does appear to be longer than all of these. So let me show you guys now. This is my gap right here. I'm just gonna pretend to line it up. You can see it's lined up properly there. And then here, there is excess material. So I will have to cut. Now if we go to the shingle above it, this is a full length shingle. I'm gonna line it up from corner. So you can see right there, the corner's lined up to the corner over here. And there is 1.5 inches of spacing here on the end. So this shingle, this new shingle is bigger than this older shingle that's on the roof. So now what I'm gonna do is I have my knife here. I'm going to change out my blade to a shingle blade. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to line it up so I can get my markings. There we go. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to begin cutting it. My blade's a little bit worn out. Okay, now that that is cut, I'm going to put my knife away. Here, as you can see, there's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches that I just took off of that shingle. Now I'm going to grab it. I'm going to insert it. Make sure it's lined up. Okay, now I am going to replace the nails that I have removed. Give it a little bit of a tap upwards. I'm going to replace the nails that I have removed. I'm going to grab some fresh roofing nails here. Well, I have lost the nail. Okay. I'm going to begin here to the right. I'm going to begin here. I'm not going to lift up any higher than what I need to nail it. Also being very careful that my phone does not fall off of the roof. I'm going to leave a space here for this gap so water can flow through it without coming onto a nail. It's nail number 2. Nail number 3. Make sure it's still within frame. Yes, it is. Nail number 4. Now I'm going to go to that next row above. I am going to have to manipulate the shingle a little bit so I can be able to nail up in there. Nail number 1. I did nick that shingle a little bit. We're just gonna continue on with the repair. It's not compromising the integrity of it. There we go. I'm gonna go here to the next row. Doing my best to not nick that shingle. Okay, all of my nails have been put back. Here we go. This is the shingle that I removed and replaced. Of course, it does not match perfectly, but it's okay just for this application. From there, we discovered that this new shingle is about 2 inches bigger than the original shingle on the roof. So any areas that will be repaired, that shingle will need to be cut. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mark what has happened during the repair. So we know that most of these shingles have mat transferred. So I know this one has mat transferred. This shingle will not re-adhere. It's really hard to show it to you guys, but I will take photo documentation of it. But this shingle will not be able to re-adhere due to the matting on this glue strip. Same with this one here to the right, the one above and here. So it's 4 shingles total that were manipulated above this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark them. So this is shingle number 1. This is shingle number 2. This is shingle number 3. And then this is shingle number 4. So it's 4 shingles total that have gotten manipulated. I'm gonna go ahead and mark. So those are the 4 that got manipulated, and 1 through 4 all failed due to mat transferring. These shingles will not re-adhere. Of course, the one that I have just replaced on the roof, this shingle will be able to re-adhere because the glue strip is new, it's fresh, and it does not have any mat transfer. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cross out that number 1, cross out that number 4, cross out that number 2, and cross out that number 3. I'm going to write mat transfer on all of these. I'm gonna put an M and a T. M and a T. Now I'm gonna go to number 1, put an M and a T for mat transfer. M and a T for mat transfer. M and a T for mat transfer. So all of these shingles have mat transferred. So in total, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 shingles that were manipulated. So 4 out of the 4 have failed for mat transferring. So I'm up here, I'm gonna put ATR. I'm gonna put an M and a T for mat transfer. 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4. Granule loss, I'm not seeing granule loss on the shingle. It's holding together really well, other than the mat transferring. So here I'm gonna put a G and an L for granule loss. equals 0 out of 4. There we go. 0 out of 4. From there, we're just going to go back through and analyze that mat transfer. So here, we're going to start from number 1. We're going to work our way to 2, and then 3, and then to 4. So this number 1 shingle, as we can see, there is mat transferring underneath of it. There's a little bit of a glue strip here left in the middle, right here. And we go from there on over. There's barely any glue strip left over. After that repair, now we'll go to number 2. Number 2 is the same thing. As you can see, the glue strip is matted up, so this will not re-adhere to the roof. Then we're going to go to number 3. Same thing. There is mat transferring all throughout on the bottom and on the top. If you look right there on the bottom, there is mat transfer. Now if we keep going, it's really hard to get the angle right. Unfortunately, I can't hold you guys different. It has to be upside down. But all throughout this number 3, there's mat transfer from here all the way over. Now number 4, starting from this corner next to number 3, here you go, mat transferring all throughout. There's barely any proper glue strip left over. It's all on the top and it's all on the bottom. So this shingle number 4 will not be able to re-adhere. So in turn, since I manipulated all these shingles, I replaced the one. This one is going to be okay. It has been able to re-adhere. It has a brand new glue strip. 1 through 4 have failed because of mat transferring. So like I said, these shingles will not be able to re-adhere to the roof. They will forever stay loose like this. So in turn, our attempt to repair our ATR equals to fail. My ATR is a fail. Mat transfer, 4 out of 4. Granule loss, 0 out of 4. And we have a total of four that were deemed as hail damage. 1, 2, 3, right here. And our 4th one was over there. Once again, this is Patty's attempt to repair.